this happened, possibly before my mother had Edith, but I left the house, and it was a long road into the yard in those times. And if you went about a quarter of a mile down the road, there was a creek there. Well, Lois being the experimenter and explorer, left the house, and she went down to the creek. And the grasses were way up tall. Maybe they were reeds, I don't know. But I was in there and I was thinking it was pretty nice. And pretty soon my mom comes. And she tells us this part of the story, that the dog came home and acted very strangely. And so she thought, well, maybe she better go find out what the trouble was. And there was little Lois at the creek in the long reeds. And she didn't see anything wrong with being there, but her mother told her to never go there again. But
so your dog came through, huh?
yeah, the dog was a good protector. And so the dog was with me a good share of the time.
What kind of dog was it? Do you remember?
I would say it was a shepherd dog, and it was a bit bigger dog and long hair, and it was always real chummy. I mean, really close to you.
What was its name?
I don't remember that now, but at that time it was pretty nice to have. One time, it was usually around, closely around someplace on the place, but we tore down a corn crib, and corn cribs, they had boards running around, but there's always an opening in between the boards, because they had to dry the corn in that fashion. And so they were tearing down a corn crib, and what an awful, first the dog is pretty excited about getting all the rats, but pretty soon they're sick of all the rats, and so is everybody else. Even the cats were running away from where they were tearing it down. But I'll still remember that day that, they tore that down, and how the dog didn't want to chase after the rats anymore. They were plain tired of them.
So I don't know what a corn crib is. It's some kind of a building that you dry the corn in? Or?
You just stored the corn in this building, but instead of being a solid, you would have a board and then a little area opening. And so then the next board would be, but the boards weren't thin boards. They were kind of a thick board. I suppose maybe they had to be that way to be strong enough to...
And so you'd take the corn and you'd shuck it and you'd put just the ear in, or would it
just
still have...
Just the ear of corn in, and then after that, then they would shell the corn, would go through a corn sheller. But it was in the corn crib. That was called a corn crib for a period of time. I don't know how long, because you're just a kid.
Yeah.
We, this girl, Edith, came to visit, and we went to the granary, and if you went in the corn or the oats, you could jump in it, and it wasn't really considered real safe, because you could get suffocated in it if you. But I think if there were two of you, it wouldn't be too bad. If something happened, you'd get somebody to help you. But we were jumping in. I can remember the two of us jumping in the corn cornfield, and then being told, no, you couldn't do that anymore. So